Welcome to No Mercy Files, where the world's darkest crimes are brought into the light. Here, every case is stripped to the bone, every fact examined, every hidden truth exposed. These are real stories, real victims, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Because in this file, there's no mercy for the guilty.
An 18-year-old Michigan man has been charged in the connection with the slayings of 3 members of Detroit's LGBTQ community. Devon Robinson is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder, along with assault and weapons charges. Police say Robinson fatally shot the 3 victims last month inside a home on the city's east side. The shooting killed 21-year-old Alunte Davis, 20-year-old Paris Cameron, and 20-year-old Timothy Blancher, all of Detroit. Prosecutors say Davis and Blancher were gay men and Cameron was a transgender woman. Investigators are still trying to determine if an exact motive for the shooting. Robinson was arraigned early Friday and remains in custody.
On a warm May night in 2019, in the heart of Detroit, a celebration turned into a massacre. 3 young lives, 2 gay men and a transgender woman, were cut down in a storm of bullets. They were not random victims, they were targeted, and the person pulling the trigger was barely out of his teens. What happened that night left families broken, a community reeling, and the nation reminded that hate still kills. This is the story of Devon Kareem Robinson and the murders that shocked Detroit.
Can you please have somebody come to this?
What's the address, ma'am? What's the street name?
That's sorry.
What's going on at the location, ma'am?
Male. I'm a gay male. I apologize.
That's okay.
Somebody just came in and shot up the house. And 2 of my friends are fatally wounded. It is damn desire.
Okay, sir, I'm going to see you to the location now. Are there any injuries?
Yes, serious injuries, but you can get one here as soon as possible. Please, please.
I request that. Did you see who did the shooting?
So,
It was Saturday, May 25, 2019. Around 15 people gathered in a modest home on Detroit's east side. It was the kind of gathering where everyone knew someone, and newcomers were quickly welcomed. In the living room, music played, laughter filled the air. Among the guests, 21-year-old Alunte Davis, a charismatic young man who loved to make people smile. His friend, 20-year-old Timothy Blancher, described as quiet but deeply loyal, and 20-year-old Paris Cameron, vibrant, full of life, and unapologetically herself as a proud transgender woman. Paris had faced her share of struggles, as many transgender women of color do, but tonight was about joy. No one in the room could have guessed that within an hour, the laughter would be replaced by screams. Just after midnight, 19-year-old Devon Kareem Robinson entered the home. He was not a stranger. Several guests recognized him.
I don't want you to say anything right now, but we know that you're responsible for shooting. They had to secure enough to arrest you for the homicide. Now, we know some other things that happened prior to that. We know some things that they did to you that was not cool prior to that. We know that you were intoxicated prior to that. And when they took you back to the house, you know that things happened. Okay? We know exactly what you did, but we want to know why you did what you did. What was your emotional state during that time? We know and did what you did, but we both men too, and we understand we might have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, so how did you know where to meet?
Because they told me to block from when I got on the block. Car was parked.
Car was parked?
Yeah.
Okay, so they go around, and so you meet them over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this house. Now, are they on the outside of the house when you meet them there, or are they already inside the house?
Outside.
They're outside. Same 4 people in the car?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if they get out at some point?
Yeah, when I get there.
Okay, so when you get there, they get out, right? Okay, so when they get out, who all get out?
Everybody.
Okay, so the front passenger who is, you know the name? Paris?
Right.
Okay, front passenger's Paris. Get down. What's the driver's name?
I don't know nobody else for that.
Okay, so the only body that's not, the driver is a black male?
I don't know, I don't really know. But black male, what you mean, like black skin color?
Yeah, black skin color.
Yeah.
Okay. And the two back passengers, are they black men?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, are they gay as far as you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so they all gay.
Right.
So you guys go into the house, right?
Right.
When you go into the house, is anybody inside the house before you get into the house?
Yes.
Who's in this house?
I don't know the people that's in there.
How many people is in it?
I'm not very sure.
How many people do you think? Just from what you read them.
Still ain't sure.
Okay, I mean, how many people do you see when you first walk into the house? Other than the four that's with you.
I think 1 or 2 people.
1 or 2 people. Were they all males?
Yes.
Okay, so 2 males. Were they old or young?
Yeah.
Young, younger males. And what were they doing? Where were they at in the house? Were they in the living room when you first walked in?
There was one right there in the living room when you first walked in, and someone in the back room.
In the back room. So you got one in the living room. Where is he? Is he sitting or standing or what?
Standing.
He's standing. Where is he standing here?
The door.
The door.
Mm-hmm.
The front door or
Front door.
Front door. So he's standing in the front door. And then you have somebody in the back that you can see. And where can you see them? Are they going into another room or are they in the kitchen or something?
Like, I really don't know. I just know there was 1 or 2 people in there when I first got in there. There was 2 new faces I didn't see.
2 new faces, okay. And so when you get in there with these other 4 guys, what do you do?
Me and Taylor split off.
Your hair split up to where?
Upstairs.
You go upstairs.
Right.
So your pair slides upstairs, and upstairs, what's upstairs?
Just in one room. It was like one room that's actually stable for somebody to sleep in. I don't think the house is.
Okay. So the rest of the house looks like there's a picture up or something. Okay. So when you get upstairs, there's one room looks like somebody actually occupied this room and sleeping in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you think that is because there's a bed in this room?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a bed. Is there a dresser in this room?
I don't know.
Okay, are the lights on in this room?
No.
Okay, so the lights are off, but you can see some stuff because there's some sort of form of lighting in there, right?
Right.
Coming from outside or something like that.
Right.
And what time is this? What time of night is this?
I don't know.
Well, about what time?
But as witnesses would later testify, Robinson's demeanor was cold, detached. His eyes scanned the room.
Smell.
Do you mention anything about the defendant coming back to the house?
Oh yeah, that's also what I had talked about too. I forgot.
Were you
Sorry.
upset about that?
No, I wasn't too upset about that because I really, like at that time, like I was the type of person that's like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. If y'all want to bring a random boy from a gas station, that's on y'all. But I did tell him, like, you know, I didn't like the fact that they did that because it's a random boy from a gas station, you know.
Why does this concern you?
It concerned me because it's a random guy from a gas station.
All right.
So that's why.
You stay in the car with Lance for a little while. What happens next?
I end up rolling me a blunt to calm myself down. And then after that, shortly after, Lynch had tried to come on to me. Like he had touched me inappropriately. So that's what made me get out the car and go in the house eventually.
What happens when you go in the house?
I go in the house, I see Tay, Timothy, and Paris running around laughing. I already knew they was up to no good. So I asked them what happened, and they said, girl, this boy is with it, you know. And I'm like, what y'all mean that he with it? So we all go upstairs, and
Who's we all?
me, Paris, Timothy, and Tay.
Where's the defendant?
He's upstairs in the room.
Is he by himself this time, or is he?
He was by himself up there.
Oh.
So as we all go up there, they saying that basically he...
Then, chaos. Robinson pulled out a handgun. In seconds, the sound of music was drowned by a deafening barrage of gunfire. Bullets tore through the living room. Guests screamed, scrambling for cover. It felt like it went on forever, shot after shot, and the blood, it was running down the walls. When it was over, the floor was slick with blood. Alunte Davis, Timothy Blancher, and Paris Cameron lay motionless. 2 more guests were wounded. Robinson fled into the night, leaving behind carnage and confusion. Within minutes, Detroit police units swarmed the scene. Officers found the surviving victims in shock, some too injured to speak. The scale of the violence was staggering, over a dozen rounds fired in a small space. I've seen bad crime scenes, but this was different. This was execution style. This was personal. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office moved quickly. Evidence pointed to a targeted attack, one rooted in bias. Witnesses recounted Robinson making derogatory comments about LGBTQ people in the past. Prosecutor Kim Worthy would later call his actions disturbing on so many levels. The murders struck a nerve in Detroit's LGBTQ community, especially among transgender women of color who face disproportionately high rates of violence nationwide. In 2019 alone, at least 26 transgender or gender nonconforming people were killed in the U.S., most of them Black transgender women. For us, this wasn't just another crime. This was a reminder that being visible, being yourself, can still make you a target. The trial began in March 2020. Robinson faced 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of assault with intent to murder, and 5 counts of felony firearm. Prosecutors argued that the killings were a premeditated hate crime. These victims were targeted because of who they were. This was not random. This was hate, pure and simple. The prosecution presented ballistics linking the bullets to Robinson's gun, eyewitness accounts placing him at the scene, and testimony about his motive. Several survivors took the stand, reliving the terror of that night. I'll never forget his face, and the look in his eyes when he pulled that trigger. The defense countered, claiming there was no definitive proof Robinson fired the shots, suggesting witnesses were mistaken in the chaos. The state's case is built on assumptions and theories, not facts. But the jury was not persuaded. After deliberating, they found Robinson guilty on all charges. On July 17, 2020, Devon Kareem Robinson returned to court for sentencing. The judge handed down the maximum penalty, 3 life sentences without parole, plus 2 years for each firearm charge, and 10 to 20 years for each assault conviction, all to run consecutively. Justice, in the legal sense, was served, but there's no justice that can bring these lives back. The victims' families spoke of their pain, their loss, and the vibrant lives that had been taken. For them, the sentencing was closure, but also a reminder of the dangers their loved ones faced simply for being themselves. 3 names, 3 lives, 3 stories that should have gone on for decades. Instead, they serve as a warning and a call to action. In Detroit, their memory is honored in vigils, marches, and in the fight for a world where no one has to fear being who they are. Hate may have pulled the trigger that night, but love, resilience, and remembrance will carry their names forward.